The most valuable commodity I know of is information. Wouldn't you agree?
Ah, Jack.
Jack to the best!
Hi there guys, welcome into another session, 1 hour into the London European trading session here, as Bitcoin is absolutely ripping and a tearing up only.com, isn't it? So a couple of things I want to look at with you today. Okay, we're going to have a look at some data points and how I think we may get some continuation from this area or a little bit lower. Okay, so we're going to have a look at some classic TA levels. We're going to have a look at ETH and SOL as well on their 4-hour time frame, and we're going to jump into the data, of course, on the best data that we've got in the market, which is the TRDR console. Grab a link from below for a free trial for that. So yeah, a little bit of a neutral grey day today to start off the day, to be expected after such strong moves last week. Okay, so really strong reaction moves last week, and then from the Asian Open at the weekend as well. Absolute power move, wasn't it? So let's have a look at where we've come from and where we are going. So all of last week, really, we did have a little bit of downside, didn't we? Post CPI data, we did have some downside last week, but overall, I was looking for long exposure, risk exposure in the market. I think if we were to find any value, it was going to be a good play. And we eventually got it after the CPI, didn't we, on the 10th? But keep it really simple. I was trying to say last week, you know, not really looking for any kind of day trade shorts or anything. Was quite happy to sit on my hands all of last week, and then trying to keep everyone updated as the week progressed last week. Okay, just with a few key levels. Then as we came down to that 60k level again, okay, just from that overall kind of swing failure pattern, mini swing failure pattern rejection up there just at 64k. As we came back down to the 60k level again, which was just from the 10th into the 11th of October, just trying to keep everyone updated and saying, look, okay, we're just coming down to this order block now, but there's no real demand. So value incoming. That was what I was trying to say there. Okay, so then we eventually dropped back. Okay, and we hit the BTC Diamond. Okay, so various alerts pinging off. If you're unfamiliar with that, join us in the socials. I'll say grab a link from below. And you get these alerts via to your Telegram, to your email, to your Discord as well. I'll go show you that in a sec. And we got absolute drop down into value right down there into the 59k. An absolute mega push up. I think for day trading perpetuals, it would have been nice to come and see this area and almost like just double bottom it or something again, but it just went up only. So I hope everybody's got some spot exposure. We obviously finished the week green. I hope everyone's got some spot exposure one way or the other. If you're just trading perps, I think the bigger move is yet to come. And there's a couple of reasons why I do say that. So we've had an absolute astonishing move so far, but I do think the bigger move is yet to come. All right, guys. So yeah, ETF flows still doing well as well. So some nice ETF flows continuing. Larry Fink is going nowhere. He's still mega bullish on the market, isn't he? Okay, so yeah, really nice reaction. Really nice reaction. From down here in this level, I'll just go show you what the BTC Diamond is and how that comes across. So last week on the 10th, when we were getting that, going into that dip, just in the private section of the Discord, if you want to get involved in here in the private section, we do tend to post a few more trade setups and ideas in a little bit more depth. Go and join the Art of Market Driven Data Academy. Okay, go and have a look at that in the Academy section of the TRDR website. But last week on that 10th, I was saying to the guys in here, look, in other news, look, I'm still looking for longs. Ideally dip today in the US session and meet some demand. I'm not going to get bearish down here at all. And then I was just posting a few really higher time frame charts for the guys, basically saying, look, monthly chart wicks, weekly chart great bounces, and even the daily chart, we've got some nice levels to play off a little bit lower. So all looked good in the hood. If you're unfamiliar with what that diamond was that we got into those lows, I'll go show you that in a second. Okay, this is just part of our private section. Move this into the private section as well because it was flooding the other channels. But yeah, basically we can get these alert systems from the TRDR console. You can webhook them into your own Discords. Okay, you can get them via Telegram. You can use them for bot activity as well via the webhooks, and you can get email notifications as well. And of course, these do pop up. But yeah, nice price point there. So I think we dipped just below 59, didn't we? I think we got some real deep liquidity just below 59k, but alerts were firing off right from 59.4 there, 59.278. So, you know, don't be an alert trader. That is what we always say, but we do say, obviously, what this is trying to tell you is there is demand there, okay, or, you know, to the top side as well. So you move up and you get some short side alerts. It's telling you a story. It's saying you might want to go and have a look at the charts here. We are meeting demand. You might want to put a bit of risk on, okay? So really, really, really good. Happy with that. Let's go and have a look at TradingView then, and have a little bit of top down just from the daily area, okay? So we're meeting some obvious overhead supply now, it has to be said. So I think we need to churn through this a little bit. We can see we've got a daily order block here, just on a classic TA chart, daily order block here, okay, from back here, 28th of September, okay? So churn this area out, maybe we get a little pullback and then we'll break. I do think, and I am in favour of a break higher in the coming days or weeks, and there's a couple of data points from the TRDR console that I can show you that have interest for that as well. Okay, 4 hour, what we actually did is we came back down. Yes, we've been downtrending for a little bit, you know, on the daily chart, and the 4 hour bears have really been hammering the price action down. We could just see when we look back here, haven't we? But I've had this kind of fixed range pull for a while, and what we did is we popped back down to this overall 4 hour range POC there. We then came back up and tackled the larger range POC cluster, as I've got it called there, which is just from the daily time frame there, okay? And then we've absolutely blasted through that and just hitting this top order block here. So 4 hour chart. I think we've got a little bit of work to do here. You can see the weekly VWAP there just coming in at 65.1. And then we've got a cluster of what could potentially be, if we get some violence down, okay, to flush a little bit of open interest, if we get some violence down, you've got a nice cluster of confluence here that could be potentially a nice support zone, okay? So I wouldn't have any fear if we drop back into this low 63k region. Again, you don't have to have all these levels drawn out, okay? That's just my alert I've got there if we come back and strike the monthly open at 63.3. Just look left, as always, just look left. It's an area of interest that we've hit a few times, failed, dropped back down. Is this a time we actually come back now? Maybe just confirm this zone with a little bit of bid using the order flow and get some continuation. I think that'd be really good, okay? 1 hour chart looks absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely up only.com, isn't it? Okay, so that was back there. I would say value incoming. As I say, I think if you've got some spot exposure, your portfolio is going to look great here. If you have missed all of this move for whatever reason at all, and you are just trading derivatives or perps, I still believe the bigger move is to come. So look for value, look for retracements into these kind of zones if we are lucky enough to get them, okay? There's still a lot of altcoins out there that you can play as well, all right, guys? So just have a quick look at ETH and SOL while we are here. I'm just going to go flick to a 4 hour on ETH. Let me just reset that quickly. I just want to zoom out a little bit for you there and just show you where we are on ETH. So ETH, very much still in this kind of range, to be honest. I am going to call it a range. It's been consolidating down here for a while. Interesting to see when you check the order flow as well. ETH BTC is getting quite a lot of bid. It does have to be said, okay? So maybe you get a little bit of a break up, you know, like I'm suggesting on BTC, and then does ETH follow with some real violence and yeah, I think ETH's looking pretty good, to be honest, even though I do find it a boring coin and I still hate the gas fees on it. But yeah, ETH very much still in this range. Got a few areas that it can do with confirming here, and then yeah, I'm sure it'll follow BTC. Same with SOL. I'm liking Rune as well, but we'll have a look at that on the next live session. I won't dwell on it too much. SOL looking really good as well. Higher time frame trend line right down here. Got some nice confirmation down there with some demand. Thought it might have come a little bit lower, SOL, actually, but with BTC bouncing, SOL got the bounce as well, okay? So, and again, you know, if you come down here, come down to some of these areas, you know, weekly open 147 region on SOL, very nice, even if you just trade in perpetuals or derivatives. All right, guys, so some really nice levels to play if you are just day trading. Hope everyone's got that spot exposure, but if you are just day trading, don't feel like you've missed out, okay? I think we've still got some very nice moves to come. All right, so what we'll do is now we're going to have a look at the order flow in the TRDR console. Right then guys, here we are. Let's dive into the TRDR console and check some order flow, open interest, volume, liquidity and the rest with the best data in the cryptoverse. As I say, go and grab a link from below for a free trial. If you're unfamiliar with this, join us in the socials as well, and go and join the academy if you feel you need a little bit more in-depth education and the private Discord access also. Okay, so just watching the big four at the minute. I say big four, I like watching Rune as well because it trades so well. These little green crosses down here, what we call Rune diamonds. Okay, so that's an alert system again that you've got from the TRDR console. Very nice. Rune is actually, you know, it's absolutely on fire, and I've been saying to the guys in the socials, when the market's moving and it's, you know, it's moving quite hot, Rune is one that does very well. If anyone remembers playing Rune last year as well, it does very well. ETH, top left corner here, spot and peps really bid in this zone, absolutely mega bid in this zone. So this is spot and perpetuals order blocks here. It wouldn't surprise me if ETH comes down and fills this 2580, because as we saw on the trading view chart, it is just at the top of its range highs there. So it won't surprise me to get a little flush down, flush some open interest, gather some momentum, gather some more demand, and then flow up from there. BTC, we'll dive into a little bit more detail on BTC there, but you can just see where that supply is coming from. Okay, so we have smashed the supply so far. These were perps orders, just filling and pushing price up a little bit further. And then what you'll see as well also, let me just zoom into this quickly, your 60k entities back on spot and perpetuals defending that area. Not sure if we'll get down there in one good flush or not. It would surprise me to just really come back down there after such a nice move up in one go, and I'm talking like the next 12-24 hours. But if we do, just be mindful that you have got a major defense back there again. It wouldn't surprise me though to see whatever entity this is have to start moving their orders up and start filling up here, you know, in the late 62s or 63 or something like that. But yeah, for sure, we have got some spot supply above. I don't know what the hell they're thinking. Why would you be selling spot up here? Don't know, weak, blue-haired, liberal Kamala Harris voters out there, some shit, I don't know. But yeah, I'm in favour of coming down for a little dip and then absolutely smashing these boys and girls to bits. So there we go, yeah, so you can see where that 60k level just broke down a little bit. As I said, there was, you know, as I tweeted out, said there's some value coming in. Okay, and that little cross symbol there is our BTC Diamond, uponly.com. Absolutely uponly.com. 60k bidder comes back in. You've got some dynamic bid coming in there to support price as well. So yeah, really good. As I say, Sol has done quite well. Sol didn't actually go down and meet its demand at this lower level, which I thought would have been really nice, 129, 130 level. It got front ran a little bit because obviously the rest of the market moved up, but Sol just meeting a little bit of supply up here as well, again, as it's at the top of that 4-hour range that we just looked at on trading view. Okay, but let's just go and have a look at a deeper dive into BTC. Okay, just going to go to the old order flow chart there, excuse me. Not had enough espresso this morning, have I? Right, so as we can see here, just on a 15-minute chart, but you can already see, I'm just on the spot market here, you can already see spot bidders coming in, a little bit of FOMO, maybe a little bit of FOMO coming in, and they're just bidding here. Not much, it's not massive, but they are coming in and just saying, yeah, I want a piece of the action. Something of note, aggregated depth has dropped off. That is to be expected. We came from some good depth, 600 maybe, I think we topped about 550, 600 mil aggregated depth as we hit that BTC Diamond there. And then, you know, this is to be expected. I think if anyone wants to get a bid now, they're going to have to go balls to the wall, get a bit dynamic and start slinging some bid up a little bit higher. Okay, I'm going to show you where the offers are coming from. So the offers are mainly coming from Coinbase Pros we've seen here, okay? But their main order block is right up there at 70k, all right? So little dips I think are to be played, all right? So 70k. Other main sellers, Gemini Twins, they've been doing quite a lot selling up here. Don't know why. I would be in favour, and they've just got a bid wall there at 62k. Yeah, it's certainly spot. You know, I think perpetuals, you can play this a little bit either way, you know. Bid the dips, sell the rips, so to speak. But I think if you're holding spot, I think you're in a very good position if you're holding spot from lower, okay? Perpetuals market looking very good. You can see how strong the bid was there on the perpetuals market. Very, very nice. And then it's nice to see continuation of these bands, people getting a little bit dynamic and saying, yeah, we've got conviction here, we're going to bid it up, okay? So very, very nice. One thing of note, volume is dropping off. That's to be expected coming out on Monday, especially perpetuals. Perpetual trades have done very well. It doesn't surprise me to see some profit taking up here whatsoever. Okay, open interest a little bit hot. LS ratios up there, funding rising a little bit. So yeah, a little dip in the next 12-24 hours. That'd be very, very nice. Open interest, it is going to get hot. If we're going for a high time frame breakout up and beyond, then, you know, you're going to get a high open interest. There's going to be a lot of contracts vying for a position, all right? One thing I do want to show you is a 4-hour time frame on the liquidity. Okay, so here's our liquidity. So yeah, basically is that yeah, liquidity check there. So when we dip down to these level a couple of times, that's my liquidity check, and what it's telling me is basically order books have just been absolutely, or are due to be, you know, getting wiped out. Open interest is coming down a little bit as well. But what I want to show you there is, as we came down, okay, we wiped some liquidity out the order books there. So, you know, longs got taken out, early longs got taken out, and then as we rose up, a lot of people must have been really, really rage shorting this, especially leading into the weekend and chopping over that weekend there, because the perps liquidity is absolutely dropped. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of contracts being knocked out the order books in the perpetuals market. Okay, spot is a little bit rangy, spot's a little bit rangy, and you can see there on a 4-hour time frame. The open interest is rising. Like I said, I do have to confirm, if we're going for a higher time frame breakout, then that's going to run hot for a little while, probably a couple of weeks, to be honest. Okay, but yeah, you can see there on the liquidations, aggregated liquidations, nothing major, but you can see the shorts just getting liquidated. As you know, we just went absolutely up only. You know, this absolute V shape, it has shocked me, to be honest, even though for the last week or so I've been in favor of risk on and long, you know, and keeping that long exposure. But yeah, just look at that. I mean, I can't get bearish on this price action despite the good move up and despite the rise in OI when this many perpetuals contracts have been knocked out the books. I think it looks really, really good. All right, so that's just one thing I want to say, and that's, you know, I'd certainly look for continuation if we're lucky enough to get some nice dips down. Day trading or the like. I think it's all going to look good in the hood. So yeah, a little bit of dynamic bid coming in on spot now. What am I expecting for the coming 12-24 hours? I think, as always, and you probably heard me say this before, I'd like a little dip down. You've got your monthly and weekly open here, as we just saw on the trading view chart as well. I've marked those out on this console as well. Okay, I think that'd be really, really nice. Do we get it? We'll just have to watch the order flow. But because I think we're going down there, I'm certainly not in the frame of mind or mood to just drop shorts on the market thinking I might get a couple of percent if we drop down there. My attitude at the minute, and if you didn't catch us on the TRDR live Discord yesterday, my attitude at the minute is sit on my hands, wait for dips if we're lucky enough to get them, and then, you know, sell the rips in perpetuals. And as I say, if you've got some spot exposure, I'd be well in favour of holding that. And it was a similar story on Sol yesterday, really. You know, was kind of seeing this overhead supply on Sol. But in the Discord, I said, yeah, okay, so this is maybe looking like a good head short, but it's not something I'm particularly, and in my honest opinion, do your own research, not financial advice, willing to take, because I think that some of these assets are going to absolutely rip these supply zones apart. And there's been a few charts like that, and I think STX was a similar one as well. Is it STX? Yeah. Little bit of a similar, you know, it kind of follows the same kind of path as BTC does, really. And what these are doing, obviously this was quite a nice one if you caught it on STX, that massive wick. Your execution would have to be, you know, absolute sniper to get out at the bottom there, though, is when you see supply like this, but then you've got a really, really nice, you know, kind of bullish 4-hour and daily structure on some of these coins. STX and some of these other assets, they will follow BTC, and STX does in particular. And what you can see happening now on STX is it's absolutely smashing its supply. So I'm not willing to short these kind of coins, you know, even if it's just for 0.5% or 1%. And what you see now is this is absolute classic signature now for a resistance to support flip. Yeah. So if you get any, if you're getting any drops in BTC, ETH, SOL, or whatever, certainly come and have a look at some, you know, some of the other coins, STX, FTM, and some of those others, and see if they then go just on the spot market, see if they're then getting some spot bid down into these drops. If they are, yeah, very, 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 very nice indeed. But yeah, BTC has got a little bit of supply to overcome, but it is a lot higher up. I just think that any dip is going to be very, very nice to play. All right, guys. So No live session today on this Tuesday. Just got a couple of errands to run, but I will grab another live session in this week. Probably do it in the European session though, and see if we. I'll either treat it and do it as a European session live, or what I'll do is, if we do get any good dips or anything, or rips, then we'll jump on the live session, have a look together. If it's a dip, obviously we'll look at getting a little bit of risk and exposure for everybody. All right, guys. So drop us a comment. How are you trading this? Have you got much exposure on? If you've missed out, as I said, don't fear, because I think the larger move is coming. Drop us a comment, drop us a like, give it a share if you've got anything out of the video whatsoever. Okay, guys, and I hope we're in for a brilliant week. I think we are. Don't feel like you've missed out here. There's some good trading to become. I think we're in for a good few months. Cheers, guys.
I bet your margins are pretty nice and fat.
Let's not talk about my margins, by the way. Being nice and fat, that's a nice shirt. Do they make it for men?